Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be breaking down the Nhl Dfs slate for Monday, March 13th. We got ourselves just a 3-game slate here tonight, where I'm going to go through a couple of my favorite line stacks, some of my favorite individual plays, and some of my favorite value plays, and then we'll wrap up today's video talking a little prize picks. With that being said, let's dive into my spreadsheet here. And we're going to kick things off here like we always do in the top left-hand corner with those highest implied game totals. Now you can see this game between the Maple Leafs and Sabres is coming in at 7 goals, Avs at Canadiens coming in at 6.5, and then the Stars at Kraken coming in at 6 goals even. And then take a look down here at the Vegas odds, where you can see the Maple Leafs, Avalanche, and Stars are all favored to win tonight. And then here's the schedule update for this week. I will have an Nhl Dfs video coming out for you guys Monday through Friday. With that being said, let's dive into a couple of line stacks that I like here for tonight. Starting with that second line for the Colorado Avalanche, we got Comfer centering Lehkonen and Nichushkin. Now that Avalanche first line of McKinnon, Rantanen, and Rodriguez is projecting to be very popular on this 3-game slate. And look, I have no issue playing those guys, but I kind of like pivoting off of that first line to this second line because we can get them at lower ownership, and they're a lot more affordable as well. And we still get some really nice upside out of these three here. 3 talented forwards and a great matchup against the Montreal Canadiens, one of the worst defensive teams in the NHL, who've allowed 3.55 goals per game this year, the 8th most in the NHL, with a penalty kill that's hit at just a 74% rate. That is the 4th worst. Now we're going to see Comfer for sure play up on the number 1 power play, and then Lehkonen kind of mix in between the first and second. Nichushkin plays down on the second himself. Needless to say, all 3 of these guys are going to log big minutes and get some sort of time on the special teams. And then another line stack that I like here tonight that should go a little under-owned considering it is just a 3-game slate is that first line for the Seattle Kraken. We got Beniers centering McCann and Eberle. For what it's worth, I think this game here between the Stars and Kraken is going to be the least popular of the 3 on this slate, so I don't mind going there in tournaments. And this line here has really shown some nice upside all year long. They're very affordable, and I like the way they played here as of late, having combined for 8 goals, 12 assists, 20 points in their last 6 games. Now we see Beniers and Eberle technically play down on the second power play. McCann plays up on the first, but again, another line here that will log big minutes together, 5-on-5. Now folks, before we dive into some of my favorite individual plays here, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. And don't forget, I am running that Discord channel too. Got a great group of people in there talking hockey and prize picks. If you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below. Alright, now diving into some of my favorite individual plays here, you're probably going, Griff, what the hell do you got going on at the 4 position? Matthews, Nylander, Marner, and Tavares, the top 4 forwards for the Maple Leafs, all listed with on the spreadsheet. Now right now, Matthews and Marner are playing on the first line together. Yeah, Kerfoot up on the left wing, Nylander and Tavares playing on the second line together. You got Bunting on the left wing. You could stack those lines up, I have no problem with that, but I am primarily targeting the number 1 power play for the Maple Leafs, which is why I got all 4 forwards listed from that number 1 power play, along with Morgan Riley. Now, maybe we can just play 3 or 4 of these guys. It is very expensive to stack this number 1 power play up, but I love the matchup here against the Buffalo Sabres. Not only is this a team that struggled defensively all year long, allowing 3.62 goals per game, this is one of the worst penalty kills in the NHL. It's hit at just a 72.7% rate. That's the 2nd worst in the NHL, and this Maple Leafs power play has been great all year long. They were great all of last year. They've scored at a 26% rate this season, the 2nd best in the NHL. So again, that's what I'm targeting here, but again, you could do a 3-man stack if you wanted to. For example, Matthews and Marner stacked up with Morgan Riley, but I have no problem stacking up that whole number 1 power play because it's going to force me to get contrarian throughout the rest of my lineup. Now, if you are looking for some one-off forward plays that have some nice value, I got 2 guys down here at the bottom. First being Joe Pavelski of the Dallas Stars. And look, if you want to stack him up with Jason Robertson, Rope Hintz, Miro Heiskanen, that all makes sense, especially on a 3-game slate like this. But again, from a one-off perspective, Pavelski does make sense at $5,400. He's played some really good hockey here in his past 5 games with 3 goals, 5 assists, 8 points, with 3+ shots on net in every one of those games. And then I got Victor Olofsson there of the Buffalo Sabres. Now, I'm primarily targeting him on that number 1 power play. They got him on the right side of the umbrella right now. He's got an absolutely ridiculous shot, and they basically look for him and Tage Thompson to take one-timers on that number one power play. So you can play him as a one-off, you could stack him up with someone like Rasmus Dahlin, or really anyone on that number one power play. He does play down on the third line and only logs around 13 minutes, but again, I'm primarily targeting him on that number one power play, which has been very good for Buffalo this year, scoring at a 25% rate, the fourth best in the NHL. Now, moving over here to the defensemen, first three guys that I got listed here, primarily targeting them on the number one power play and stacking them up with the same forwards on that power play. Cale Makar here of the Colorado Avalanche, great matchup on the road against the Montreal Canadiens. Morgan Rielly of the Toronto Maple Leafs, talked about that number one power play and a great matchup against Buffalo. And then Vince Dunn there, I don't want to say it's a great matchup against Dallas, but at $4,600, very affordable there for someone who has multiple point upside, plays big minutes, and again on that number one power play for the Kraken. And then Caden Gooley here, he plays down on the number two power play for the Montreal Canadiens. So I'd prefer to play him as just a one-off. I don't need to stack him up with that number two power play. I suppose you could though, being that it's just a 3-game slate if you're looking to get contrarian, but he's someone who can get us double-digit DraftKings points, and at $3,700, I obviously don't mind that. And then I got a couple of goaltenders there for you, higher priced and lower priced option. I'd hesitate to say I'm a fan of the goalies on this slate, but it's just 3 games, 6 goalies to choose from. You guys know the deal here. I truly believe all 6 of those goalies need to be considered. I went with Matt Murray here and Jake Allen. Now, Matt Murray, he's been boom bust all year long, but has shown some really nice upside at times. And of the 3 goaltenders that are favored to win tonight, you got Maple Leafs Matt Murray, Colorado Avalanche Georgiev, and Ottinger with the Dallas Stars. He's projected to be the lowest owned of those 3 favored to win here tonight, so that's why I went with him. And then Jake Allen here, high risk, high reward type of play at $7,000. The Avalanche, we all know that they can score goals. They also love to shoot the puck as well, which is kind of why I like this play here. Wouldn't be crazy to think that Jake Allen has 35 plus saves here tonight, get you that 3-point DraftKings bonus, could get you 15 plus DraftKings points, even if he doesn't secure the win here tonight. So from a low-priced option perspective, he was my favorite. And as always, going to wrap up the spreadsheet here with 3 low-priced options or sub-4K forward plays. First guy I got there is Oliver Bjorkstrand of the Seattle Kraken. Plays on the second line, but up on the number one power play. Could do a little mini stack with him and Vince Dunn if you wanted to. He's playing some really good hockey here as of late. In his past 6 games, he's racked up 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points, with 26 shots on net. Really like the way he's been shooting the puck. Now, with Jordan Greenway here, he just got traded to the Buffalo Sabres at the deadline. They got him up on that first line right now with Tage Thompson and Jeff Skinner. Really not getting any time on the power play, so I obviously don't love that. But being that it is just a 3-game slate, I don't mind targeting him on that first line with Thompson and Skinner. An opportunity play there. And then Jonathan Drouin of the Montreal Canadiens playing on that second line in number 2 power play. I suppose you could do a little mini stack with him and Caden Gooley if you wanted to. He's got 1 goal, 3 assists, 4 points here in his past 5 games, playing around 17-18 minutes per night. And then to wrap up the video here, want to talk a little prize picks with you guys. Being that it is just a 3-game slate here tonight, we all know that the picks are a bit limited. I tend to ease back on these smaller slates, but I'll still throw some picks out there later today like I always do. I'll throw them in a comment below on this video. I'll be sure to pin that comment as well. And don't forget, I am posting those picks in my Discord channel too. If you want to join that, there's a link to do so in the description below. Now, if you have not signed up for Prize Picks yet and you want to get in on this action, I got a promo code that you should definitely take advantage of when signing up. When you sign up, use my promo code GRIFF. GRIFF, and Prize Picks will give you all the way up to a $100 match deposit. Now again, folks, you don't have to put $100 in when you deposit. You could put in 50, they'll match that. You could put in 20, they'll match that as well. Again, they'll match anything up to $100 as long as you use my promo code GRIFF. GRIFF upon signing up. Alright everyone, that is going to wrap up this video here for today. As always, thank y'all for taking the time out of your day to watch the content here on this channel. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate that. Let's have ourselves a great day here, folks. Let's win some money on this 3-game slate. In the meantime, I'm out of here.